I never thought I would notice someone Julia's age in this way. She was just a friend of Luis's, and I always saw them as young, enthusiastic people still experiencing life. But little by little, something changed. Julia started coming over to our house more often, and I started to observe her, noticing little details, the sparkle in her eyes when she laughed, the carefree way she ran her hand through her hair. She had a subtle beauty, the kind that goes unnoticed until you find yourself thinking about her more than you should. Before continuing, I want to tell you a secret. If you want to improve your performance or help your partner stand out, click the link in the description of this video or in the first established comment. We are here to help you reach new levels of pleasure and confidence. It all culminated one afternoon when Luisa had to leave to resolve some college issues, leaving me alone with Julia. I was surprised to see her still in the living room, comfortable, reading a book while drinking lemonade. I glanced at her, noticing how at ease she seemed. The truth is that I felt slightly restless, something that didn't usually happen to me. As I entered the room with a glass of water, I saw that she was looking at me with an intensity that I had not seen before. I sat in a nearby armchair and tried to act casual. "You look bored, Julia," I commented, trying to break the ice, but feeling the strange electricity in the air. "A little," she replied, smiling. "I think the heat is making me lazy." The way she spoke made me smile. There was a young woman full of energy, with a touch of mystery that I could no longer ignore. I remained silent, pretending to look out the window, but in reality, noticing her every move. Julia was mature for her age, and this maturity was most evident at that moment, in the look she gave me, in the small approaches she made. I could feel her eyes on me, and I found myself wondering if it was all just my imagination. But then I noticed her coming closer, looking over the book I was pretending to read, almost touching my arm. The air around us grew thick, as if we didn't need to say anything. The silence was enough. "What's wrong, Julia?" I asked, my voice feeling lower than usual. She hesitated a little and then laughed, looking a little embarrassed. "Sometimes I feel intimidated around you." Her words hit me like confirmation of what I feared and, at the same time, wanted. She looked at me, and the look was not that of a girl, but that of a woman. "You don't have to," I replied, feeling the weight of what was coming. "I enjoy your company." I knew I was crossing a line, but there was an overwhelming curiosity that kept me going. I could tell that somehow she wanted to be there, and that my own boundaries were slipping away with every passing second. I placed my hand on her cheek, feeling the softness of her skin against my palm. It was a gentle gesture, and I watched as her eyes closed, as if she had been waiting for that touch. Our kiss was inevitable, a dive into a feeling that had been silent for so long. She responded in a way that mixed desire and tenderness, a connection that I never imagined I would find with someone so young. From the moment our lips touched, it was as if time stood still. There had been a tension that seemed to be building between us for ages, and now we were finally allowing ourselves to cross that line. My touch, hesitant at first, became more confident as she responded, wrapping me in a tighter embrace. I felt the heat of her skin, and the light perfume she emanated seemed to numb me. Every movement was a step deeper into a connection neither of us had expected, but now it was inevitable. The air between us was thick with something intoxicating, and every touch, every whisper, was filled with an intensity one had never experienced before. She looked into my eyes with a mixture of desire and curiosity that only made me want more. I held her face carefully, prolonging every second of that moment, and I felt her body shiver at the touch of my hands. There was something inexplicable about the way we surrendered ourselves to each other, with a chemistry that revealed itself in the details. The sliding of our hands, the pressure of our fingers, the rhythm of our movements that aligned as if we had done this 1,000 times before. And there, in that moment, there were no more doubts or hesitations. It was a complete, silent, and overwhelming surrender. Finally, we lay down side by side, without saying a word. She intertwined her fingers with mine, still breathing softly, and we just allowed ourselves to remain silent, with an inexplicable peace, as if what had just happened was a secret that only the two of us understood.